Good evening. Welcome back to Dining101.net with Mr. Wolfe. I'm your host. This is the companion webisode to Dining101.net, which I hope you've visited by now. It's a lot of fun. And I'd love to get your comments, and if you have any questions, by all means, send them in. So without further ado, here we go. This is Webisode 5, and we've already talked about taking the table and the place setting, napping in the lap right away, of course, and last week we just kind of got into ordering and whatnot. So I'd like to get a little bit more of beverage service this week because it's a really important part of dining out. Everybody likes to have a nice quality cocktail, beer, wine, champagne, what have you not when they go out. So I'll give you a couple little inside tips here. First off, we talked about the place setting, and the wine glass is normally right here. Again, the American restaurateur is just trying to subliminally give you the idea that wouldn't it be nice to have some wine with dinner. You don't necessarily have to have wine. As a matter of fact, let's have a cocktail or an aperitif, literally something to whet your appetite as you take the table and you get settled in. You know, restaurants can be boisterous. Maybe you've never been there before. Maybe you're a little nervous. Maybe you're on a date or it's a business situation. Everybody just needs to relax and chill out a little bit. You know, maybe you don't want to order right away. Maybe you just want to take in the scene for a little bit. Everybody loves to people watch, especially at some of these hot new restaurants. So let's have a cocktail. Now, when the waiters are trained to approach your table within 1 to 2 minutes of you sitting down, and you're probably still figuring out where to put your purse and your camera and your keys and your sunglasses and all that kind of stuff. So you're a little bit of a deer in headlights situation. So what I recommend is when you're traveling to the restaurant and you're driving that half hour in traffic and you're fighting for a parking spot and you're walking in and you've checked in with a hostess, and you know, maybe kind of in the back of your mind you can kind of get an idea what you're in the mood for. Some people have been thinking about all day, or at least all afternoon, boy, I could really go for a nice quenching margarita, or boy, wouldn't a martini hit the spot right now? Or maybe that particular restaurant is famous or known for their martinis or their margaritas or their Cosmos or whatever it may be. At any rate, you should have a little bit of an idea of what you're going to drink before you even get to looking at the menu and figuring out what you're going to have for dinner. So you're going to place your cocktail order. That wine glass is going to go away because you don't need it just yet, and the cocktails will arrive. A couple ideas when you're ordering cocktails. You might want to think about what's in season. You know, winter is citrus time, so it's a great time to have sidecars or things that feature lemons and oranges and limes. You definitely don't want to order a peach Bellini in the middle of fall or winter because peaches aren't in season, and I can guarantee you that they're not using fresh peaches. Strawberry-based drinks are great in the spring when it's strawberry season, but in December, not so much. So just a couple ideas to bear in mind as you're getting ready to order your cocktail. Like I say, let's focus on that. The whole idea of the drink or the aperitif is to have something in hand, something to do, something to relax you as you get settled in before you look at the menu. You know, if you're just going to jump into the menu and start ordering calamari and oysters and frito misto for the whole table, it's going to be a little awkward because nobody's got a drink yet. And the rule of thumb in the restaurants is we're not supposed to serve any food to anybody that doesn't have something to drink in front of them, whether it be water or wine or a cocktail or something, but we always make sure you have a drink first. Couple other things about drinks. If you've ordered anything on the stem, or let's say any cocktail in general, that drink basically has a shelf life, and I'm going to say let's go with 20 minutes. That seems pretty long, but if you haven't consumed that lemon drop or that Cosmo or that martini in 20 minutes, it's going to be warm and it's going to be frankly quite gross. So you got 20 minutes to drink that drink or give it up and move on to the next beverage. All right, let's compromise with that. There's some other ideas. You don't have to have a cocktail. Not everybody likes hard alcohol. You can have other creative stuff. You could have a glass of champagne, for example. Champagne is a great way to start. It really whets the appetite. It really cleanses your palate and prepares your whole mouth and tummy for the whole meal to come. So I strongly recommend a glass of the house champagne. There's usually something domestic that's fun. Maybe you could go to Italy for a little Prosecco, maybe you could go to France for some champagne, or maybe you can even go to Spain for some cava. Anyway, really fun way to start. You can also start with wine. Why not start with a nice crisp Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay or something just to wet your whistle while you're getting settled in. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. As a matter of fact, a lot of people have problems with an over-oaked Chardonnay because they don't go with food. Well, you know what? Here's a great opportunity to enjoy a kind of an oaky, buttery Chardonnay because you haven't got any food yet. I don't see any problem with that whatsoever. So bring on the oaky Chardonnay as an aperitif. It's fine by me. The other thing we haven't really touched on yet is beer. Beer can be a great aperitif. There's nothing wrong with beer. It's cleansing, it's effervescent, it's fun. There's a lot of different beers out there. There's a lot of local beers, a lot of craft beers. As a matter of fact, a lot of people say beer is actually more complex than wine because there's 4 ingredients as opposed to 2. So nothing wrong with beer whatsoever. My only caveat on that would be I'd rather see you ordering draft beer, not beer in the bottle, and we certainly don't want to drink beer out of a bottle in a restaurant. That would be what we call a jackass move. Unless you're at a dive bar or a tailgate party, there's really no reason to drink beer out of a bottle. So that's about it on beer. I think we've got just enough time to talk about the glass lineup. Let's say you're going to have multiple wines with your meal. I want to give you guys a little bit of an insight hint on that. So here's your water glass, which is right above your knife. Think of it like this. Bread, drink. So your drink is on your right. Your knife always points to your drink. So that's your water glass. First up will probably be champagne with your amuse-bouche or your oysters or whatever your nice little appetizer is going to be. That wine is designed to go with that course, and they're going to bring it right before that course comes out. So have it with that course and enjoy it. Next up will probably be a white wine of some sort, maybe a Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, or if you're lucky, a nice Albarino or a Gruner Veltliner or something along those lines. And that'll probably go with your next course. Maybe it's a crudo of some sort, or a lobster, or scallops, or something. Now at this point, it's sort of kind of okay to still have a little bit of the last wine there as you have your new wine, although it's really designed to go with that pressed one, so you should be done with it at this point. Although I understand some people are slower than others. Now, you're on to this course, you've completed that course, they've cleared it, and now they're going to move up to the next course, which might be a Pinot Noir. That might be served with maybe a beet salad, or maybe a salmon of some sort, or maybe a duck or something like that. Now, this is critical, but when it comes to this point, you're not really supposed to have more than 2 glasses out on your table at this juncture. This old champagne from 3 courses ago needs to go away. So you either need to slam it or get rid of it, let the waiter take it away. So I don't care which one you do, but you really can't have it in front of you anymore because it's going to start looking like a yard sale over here. So now you're on to this course with this wine. Now you've completed this course, they've cleared it away, and they're prepping you for the main course. Let's say it's lamb chops with a nice sexy Cabernet Sauvignon. Same rule applies. Now you've got 1 too many glasses out here. You need to either slam the rest of this white wine or let it go away and let the waiter take that away. Again, maximum 2 wine glasses at your setting at any given time. So you've still got a little Pinot Noir from that last duck course, and you've got the Cabernet Sauvignon that's supposed to go with the lamb. So, you know, maybe you want to have a little fun, see how the Pinot Noir goes with the lamb. Nobody's got a problem with that, but those last couple glasses really need to go away. And I really want to re-emphasize that in a tasting scenario, every restaurant I know of in Northern California or Northern America is going to go from the right to the left. So the most recent wine will be here. And I really want to advise you people against mixing your glasses up and jacking them around like that, because it's going to make it mass pandemonium for everybody and just won't be fun. So that is that. And I think until next week, we're going to call it a day, and I'll meet you all back here next Monday night for Dining 101 with Mr. Wolfe. I'm your host. Be sure and check out dining101.net. And until then, dine well, dine right.